the once every 11 months podcast now. So we will be back in 11 months, unless there are delays, with the new season of Dies to Removal. But here, right now, is our season finale. Welcome, one and all. It's the live Dies to Removal charity stream for St. Jude's, brought to you entirely by the Manosaurus and the man himself, the sleek, silky, aerodynamic, highly reflective. The light coming off this man's head right now is blinding me. I'm blinded by the white wedge of the Manosaurus.
Hi. That was that was a pretty colorful intro there. I mean, thank you, but this is not entirely brought by me. You're far too modest. For those who don't know, this entire stream.
Modest. It's one of my many great qualities. I mean, there's so much that's great about me.
Right.
People often forget about modesty. They think about my charm, my intellect, my dapper haute couture, but my modesty is indeed a great attribute of mine as well.
You know, I'm glad you finally come to realize, you know, just how modest you are. And I'm glad you can,
People are always telling me so many good things about myself.
Right.
Usually in Twitch chat during the CSL. things like, go away and don't come back. Can we vote the professor off the island? And apparently I'm extremely cringy. I don't know what cringy is.
Cringy?
But I've got a lot of it. Cringy. C-R-I-N-G-E. Cringy.
Yeah, with the hard G.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm super cringy.
The
super
two-syllable.
Cringy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I've never heard that word.
No.
I've heard some phrases like "you suck" and "don't come back." I've heard those.
Don't come back. Yeah, I think the don't come backs were for me. You don't take my don't come backs. Those.
Are you sure? Because
They were for me.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were for me.
Oh, well, that's awkward. Now no one talks about me at all.
Yeah. Well, we don't recognize you anymore.
Okay. Oh, God, that hurts so bad. This is like a safe space away from the CSL chat. I just realized that. This is like the haven where we go to, like, lick our wounds after all these people who have never heard of us hate us to death.
Yeah, pretty much. I like it here. I'd like to stay.
This is the safe place. Anyway, before the professor decided to talk to you about his modesty, which will probably happen again at some point, this entire stream today is brought to all of you by the professor, and you can see right over here. Look at that! Look at all that stuff. The other way, Prof. He donated all of that for us to auction off for St. Jude today. He'll be here the whole time. What do you mean it's not very much?
I thought I sent more. It looks you spaced it all out. You know what you did? The equivalent of like when you'd have leftover food on your plate and you wanted to look like you ate more. You spaced it all out. I thought I sent more than that. It looks so small when I see it all nicely presented, as opposed to me running frantically through my house throwing crap in a box. I mean, high quality items.
Thank you. That's great. Really, you're selling it really well.
Yeah.
You're selling it really well.
Oh.
I mean, would you like to go? Would you like to go through and maybe talk about some of the stuff that you donated, since you're the expert?
Not really.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You're killing me.
All right. So I don't know, because I'm looking at my screen here. It looks like what I sent was a Tolarian Community College dice bag. I've got one actually over here. These fine dice bags are hand sewn by the good people at inkedplaymats.com, and they hold a metric fudge ton of dice. It has the TCC letters T, C, and C on the back, and the TCC dragon reading a book emblem on the front. They are awesome. They've got a little drawstring and stuff. They are for sale at TolarianCommunityCollege.com.
Wow!
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 What? I can't plug the website.
I'm joking. No, this is
along with
really
play
nice.
mats and T-shirts and so much more. All right. But
This is really
here's
nice.
one of them. Here's one of them. Up for auction. You're in charge of this. Are you doing this as one lot or as each individual item?
No, it's called the Professor's Graduate Pack. So it's everything.
So you get everything. Well, then I'm sorry that I've apparently given the winner a lot of ways to store dice, because the next 2 items are both dice storage as well, which, as everybody who plays Magic the Gathering know, storage for dice is a high priority. So yeah.
These are really nice, though.
Yeah. No, and then we have.
But do you want to talk about Wormwood?
I'm getting there. Let me get to it.
I'm sorry.
I'm doing it. I'm
okay.
Doing it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We've got the Wormwood Dice Vault. You can, if you haven't seen my review on it, someone link it in the chat or whatever. But this is a magnetic, wooden crafted dice vault that holds a complete set of what is it? 11, 7, whatever it is, dice for all your different ones. You've got it. Count the number of dice in there. My brain's a little fuzzy this morning. And it's really great. The magnets are super strong. It's not going to come open. It looks really classy. You can slip it in your pocket. Really love that dice vault. And then next to it is the Hero Vault, which can also hold miniatures. So if you are a D&Der or Warhammer player, then you can hold 1 of your miniatures in the Hero Vault. And as anyone who plays D&D and Warhammer knows, you only need 1. And so you can put that in that incredibly high-priced dice vault from Wormwood. And it's incredible craftsmanship. It's gorgeous. Again, magnetically held together. They've got adjustable foam inserts.
This
really
stuff is
nice
beautiful.
Stuff. Yeah.
Like, now that I just have it in my hands, jeez.
And then we have 2 boxes of Commander. We have the highly in demand, once upon a time, Mind Seize Commander, which has the True Name Nemesis and Baleful Strix. We like Baleful Strix down here at the Mana Source, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And True Name Nemesis. I like True Name Nemesis. Not really, but it's in there. And we also have the, who is it? Marith? My screen is so small.
Marith, Will of the Wild.
Yeah, and that's a good one as well. And so you and a friend will each have a ready-to-play out-of-the-box Commander deck. And in addition to all of that, there is Plane Chase Jund. Plane Chase
this
Jund.
Is particularly sweet. It's a Teamer, I think.
Teamer? I thought it was Jund.
Well, it's got the Maelstrom Wanderer on it.
Oh, yeah. So this is the Maelstrom Wanderer Plane Chase box. You've got a whole bunch of planes in there if you like playing Plane Chase. It's also got very valuable cards in it. Some of them were only printed for Plane Chase. I don't have the list that's in this particular set. You can look it up. I really love all the artwork and flavor on those Plane Chase planes. Even when I'm not playing Plane Chase, I've got my set and I like to look through it, and you get a different little view of the multiverse because a lot of them are places on planes. So you might be going to a location on Jund or a location in Ugrotha or what, like the barony on Ugrotha and stuff. And so it's really neat the way in which they've fleshed out the multiverse in that way. And yeah, the Plane Chase ones, I don't have it in front of me. I'm sure people in the chat can say they each had some really cool cards, some cards that were made just for Plane Chase, like Maelstrom Wanderer, I believe, was originally made for Plane Chase.
It was actually only, that was...
Only, right. Yeah. And now it's just getting this is his first reprint ever in Eternal Masters, right?
Was it in the Commander's Arsenal?
I don't think it was. If it was, I mean, this thing does not see a lot of print. I don't know.
It was in the Commander's Arsenal, but that's it, and like no one has that.
It is a killer bloody Commander, I'll tell you that. When you sit across from someone doing Maelstrom freaking fracking Wanderer, that is a bullseye on their head.
Cascade. I mean, it's also like to find these Plane Chase boxes still sealed is like ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I thought when and that's why I was sent it along, because they've got the Plane Chase anthology coming out, but that is one of the original ones, and so
It's like
really great
collector's
stuff.
item.
Commander set, really great cards, crack open, put in trade binder if you're not going to use them, and then for not the commander player who might win this, but for the drafter, I present to you a set all the way back from, I believe, 1994. No, it's not revised. It's the set that came out after revised. Fallen Empires. Now, I know there's been a lot of jokes already about Fallen Empires, but here's the thing, and I'm not joking about this, so listen up, chat. Listen up. Oh, God, I'm so tired. Listen up, chat. Fallen Empires is actually really fun to draft. It's not the best draft set, of course, but it is actually, if you sit down to draft Fallen Empires and you take 6 packs instead of 3, it actually makes for a fun draft environment and really fun limited constructed draft decks that you're going to play with. And Homelands is terrible to draft. Ice Age is terrible to draft. Revised in 4th edition, terrible to draft. Fallen Empires actually makes for a really fun limited environment. It's not great. It's going to be a chuckle. You're going to laugh, but it isn't misery. And I really want to be clear on that. It's not misery. It's fun. And so I really hope that whoever wins this does an actual draft with the Fallen Empires box, doesn't just rip it open. There is no value whatsoever in there, even a little, but save it for someone's birthday. That's when I did my last one. It was a friend's birthday, and I'm like, let's draft Fallen Empires for your birthday. It'll be fun, and it's have some TV on, some drinks. It's a big hoot. Fallen Empires is a lot of fun to draft. Homelands is misery incarnate to draft and play. Ice Age is misery incarnate to draft and play. Fallen Empires is a hoot.
I've heard Ice Age is like the worst.
Oh, it is.
Like
Ice
just
Age,
the actual worst.
Yeah, as someone who knows firsthand, it is singularly the worst. So no. Yeah. So, and then also just an additional custom crafted wooden box from a local artisan. It has no specific intent or purpose, but it is very, very nice craftsmanship. Inlay, great for holding your dice, great for holding your counters, tokens, what have you. Lovely crafted wooden box. I forget the name of the artisan who made that one.
Terry Hansen?
Terry Hansen, that's right. You can Google him. He's actually a well-known person. So,
yeah, this is really nice.
Yeah, it is. That's really great inlay on the top there and everything. Yeah. So, that's what's up. When are we doing the auction for this, Wedge? After the episode? After we do our discussion?
Yeah, I think. What was it?
We've got 11 months of Magic stuff to cover here.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
6 p.m. Eastern time, so 3 p.m. Pacific time. Auction for all this crazy stuff for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Right.
There's hundreds of dollars in value there. Like, I shouldn't have to tell anybody that, even the Wormwood products alone are incredibly expensive.
Yep. And it's all going to a good cause.
True. True.
Yeah. All right. So let's start out this special edition of Dies to Removal where we left off. 2015 Commander decks are going to be announced soon. What are you expecting to see in the 2015 Commander sets? I think that we are going to see some of the fetch lands.
Do you
think it'll be fetch land or shock land? Because they did let slip that it's dual colored commanders.
Enemy dual colored.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So I want to say fetch lands, but here's why I think it's going to be shock lands.
Okay.
We're returning to Zendikar. We know this, and you know that they're going to reprint the fetch lands in Zendikar, and people are going to be disappointed if the fetch lands are in both of these products because that's too much of a reprinting. The prices on fetch lands are going to be like $5 each.
Right.
It's too low. Nobody even wants them that low. So I think that what they're going to do is they are going to omit the Zendikar fetches from the commander decks.
Really?
And instead put the shock lands in there, and we're going to, of course, see the complete Zendikar fetch lands in Battle for Zendikar. And that'll be nice,
Well, see, where I was thinking, because Mark Rosewater...
the prices are like up to $25 each. Last I checked in my show
They're
notes.
they're really like I think
So we need a
I think
reprint, or
Scalding
they'd skyrocket.
Tarn.
If they didn't weren't reprinting these, and thank goodness they are reprinting these.
Yeah,
If
they
they
have
were,
to.
the prices would destroy the Modern and Legacy
Well,
format.
I'm pretty sure right now we're looking at like a $40 Scalding Tarn, and that's unacceptable for Modern. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. So
Right.
if okay, so here's where I sit on the fetch land thing because I've been thinking about it for a while,
And when
and
we get to the Modern Pro Tour, I mean, that's going to shoot through the roof.
that's true. Well, I mean, if you think about all the decks that are like
Yeah.
that are using well, like Splinter Twin alone is why Scalding Tarn is so expensive. Like, I mean, and you know that deck is going to be all over the place at the Pro Tour, so
Right.
because it's Splinter Twin.
Right.
But as far as
Splinter Twin is great in that it is never really dominated the Pro Tour. It always shows up on day 2. You're usually going to have a copy of it in top 8, not always. It's a scary deck, but it's not an unfair deck. It doesn't violate any of the modern Bible rules that they have set out for the format. It's it's an old standard. And so you're always going to be seeing Splinter Twin because it doesn't violate any of the rules that get you banned in Modern.
well,
And
I think it's definitely.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, sorry.
No. I'm just saying it's a great deck. People love it. The people who are Splinter Twin lovers,
Yep.
players, really
Oh,
love the deck.
they're dedicated to that strategy. Like,
A lot of people from Birthing Pod actually went over into Splinter Twin.
yeah, well, because think about it, like
Splinter Twin.
the way I remember the way they presented it when Birthing Pod was banned was they were like, oh, cards keep adding to Birthing Pod
Right.
to make it good, so it's going to keep being good. But Splinter Twin is just a combo that's just it exists, right? And so like it's not like they're going to print things that make Splinter Twin crazier. It's still a 4-mana enchantment.
Right. And again, Splinter Twin is not dominating the format, but it's not like you're going to have a top 8 where every single deck or 7 decks out of 8 are Splinter Twin. That would be crazy. Like, same thing as if there was a tribe like merfolk or goblins or elves or some other tribe of creatures where suddenly every top 8 is just filled with that tribe. That's called an emergency. That means the format's broken, and that's when you have to do an emergency ban. And we know that if that ever did happen, if there was any one tribe like elves or goblins, or you know what all the tribes in Modern are, any of those tribes that just suddenly it's like, oh my god, every event is being won by, and every top 8 is being just the insanity of every deck or every deck but 1 or 2 being in that tribe. That's called they would immediately act because they're a dynamic company, Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, they would not wait for a ban. Not if it's that bad. No.
They would never let that happen to begin with because they know what they're doing. But, you know, every now and then mistakes do happen. It's not like they're going to like just be like, well, we didn't even know this would happen. They know what's going on. They're geniuses. But Splinter Twin, 1 copy in most top 8s. This is not anything that is ever threatening anyone. So
it's true. Well, I think one of the things
those Scalding Tarns reprinted in the upcoming Battle for Zendikar.
Well, see, okay, so here's my I guess I have a few things. First, the reason I like Splinter Twin so much is because it's a great gatekeeper of the format, right? It like forces decks to play fair, right? It forces them to be able to react by turn 4, which I think is completely fair. As far as the fetch lands are concerned, I remember Mark Rosewater posting something on his Tumblr about them in general not liking fetch lands in Standard because it increases game time, and it's really annoying. So when he said that, I took that as a sign as they're not going to print the fetch lands in Battle for Zendikar, and they're going to put them in Commander because while the run will get out there, it'll still be at least somewhat limited. So the speculators in MTG Failnance who have like 9,000 Scalding Tarns don't like lose their house and baby.
Right.
Both
they
of
are
those.
the priority. I mean,
they are.
You know, they do have those meetings and they say, listen, guys, that people put a lot of money into buying important cards when they're affordable and making sure that no one else can get them and then reselling them cynically in such a way as to profit extremely off of a children's card game. And so that is, of course, always priority number 1. And so they're always going to be talking about that before reprints. I see what you're saying on this, but come on, it would be insane for us to go to. Why would they go back to the whole reason that you revisit a plane is not purely just flavor, but rather that it gives you an opportunity to reprint favorite cards. I mean, would we go back to Innistrad and not see Snapcaster Mage and Liliana of the Veil and Flashback as a mechanic and all that beloved cards, iconic cards, eternal staples throughout almost every format? We're not going back to Innistrad and not seeing Delver of Secrets. That would be a disaster. That's the sort of thing that leads to a skyrocketing price in a common, let alone all the disappointment in people that want to get to play with this card. Not everyone was around for original Innistrad, and that gives them an opportunity to draft some of those cards while also introducing new ones on flavor and on.
Well, if you had to guess, because Innistrad is like known as like the best draft environment in like the last half decade, right? How much would you say they're gonna reprint? Like, how many cards do you think they're gonna reprint? Really? Think about it.
Hold back a little bit, right? Because I know that the joke is, and they're not doing this, of course, but the joke is, let's just reprint Innistrad because it was. Many people say it was one of the best sets of Magic that was made as far as draft is concerned. And so it's like, let's just reprint it so we can draft it again. They're not going to do that. And they know that. And so they're going to be restraining themselves. And they're going to say, okay, 50% reprints would still be too high. We have to make sure that we are reprinting iconic cards, high value cards, every fan favorite cards, and not go a little crazy. Don't just throw in, some silly spider or something that was in the original Innistrad, but actually, I mean, what if we got to have Snapcaster Mage? I mean,
the iconic, that's
right.
Liliana, I mean, I think what is he now? He's like 35 right now.
I know, $35.
Something like 35. It's craziness.
Right, and it's for
absolute insanity.
Yeah, I mean, that absolutely has to be reprinted. We'll see. How low that makes the price go. He's always going to be up there. It's not even going to tank things.
It really won't.
Veil, for sure.
I mean, I'm a little worried about Liliana of the Veil breaking standard. I will say I'm slightly worried. That.
All you have to do is just make sure that other colors and other strategies are well supported and have powerful cards as well. In fact, this might be a great opportunity in Innistrad to look at reprints of other in-demand cards for Modern and Legacy and say, are there other highly in-demand cards that will help keep Liliana of the Veil in check, or at least allow people to play other colors and still have a super powerful...
You know what I expect as like a slam dunk? Because we clearly have like a tribal thing, and like we just found out that there are allies in Zendikar, which is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And when Shadows over Innistrad comes out, you know that we're going to see like really heavy support for werewolves, especially in the first set, I assume, and zombies and stuff. Cavern of Souls.
Oh, of course.
From original Innistrad block, I think that's a guarantee. Like they might bump it up to Mythic, which I expect, honestly.
Yeah, but it's a little disappointing because that'll keep the price at about like $20 each, probably.
About right? 20.
Yeah, it's gonna if they bump it up.
That's really high.
It is, but
wow.
You know what?
Especially since a lot of tribal players like playing budget decks, that hurts. $20.
I know, and you really want to have like three, if not the full play set. But with allies, with werewolves, with zombies, with vampires, which is what everybody loves, they have to reprint Cavern. Otherwise, there might not be viable tribal strategies in those areas. I mean, can you imagine if we went back to Innistrad and during the Pro Tour, there was not, a vampire deck or a werewolf
Oh, God,
deck,
that'd be insane.
That would just be like...
Watch. Oh, my God, watch. Okay,
wow.
wait. We're going to go to the Pro Tour, and then, like, humans are going to win. Or something like that. Oh, God, that'd be hilarious.
Right.
Like, what are the chances of that? Humans are supposed to be the weak tribe, though. Like, what are the chances of that happening?
No werewolves, no vampires. We're talking fantasy here.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm worried they might make too much tribal support for werewolves and vampires.
I was worried. Yeah, like here's what I expect, because you have like on Zendikar, I'm positive we're gonna get a Drana reprint because she's really good.
Right.
So I expect there to be vampire. Like I expect that to be a lead-in to more vampire support.
Right.
In Shadows over Innistrad, like I expect fast vampires. What'd be cool is if they put value vampires like with madness or.
Right.
Like, I don't know, gave them some ability to beat attrition style decks, you know what I mean? Like, they kind of have to do that, though, right? Like,
I think it's a given. I think it's obvious. I'm not an expert like they are. They know a lot more than me, and it's obvious to me. So we know that it is going to be one of their strategies, one of their goals. I'm really excited to see what decks are going to emerge in those tribes when it comes out. I also am wondering, we were talking about, obviously the Zendikar fetch lands have to be reprinted.
Yeah.
Are going to be reprinted. Is it in Commander? Is it in Battle for Zendikar? I mean, I can see that either way. I think it's going to be in Battle, but they will get reprinted. There's no way.
It's one or the other.
Yeah,
like, it has to be.
They have to. And remember that the whole point of switching to this new 2-block faster rotation system is to allow them to put powerful cards like Snapcaster Mage and Liliana of the Veil into Standard, and if they do have a dominating presence, they will rotate out faster. We still got our reprints, we still got to play with them for a while, but it's not 2 years of something like Siege Rhino or something like that. That's all a thing of the past. So we are going to
Siege Rhino. They would never make a mistake like that again.
Never. I mean,
no.
Not even. But what I am wondering about Shadows over Innistrad is, are we just going to see a reprinting of the check lands that were in original Innistrad, or
I really
remember
like
that they were supposed to complete the Horizon Canopy cycle?
Yes, you're right.
In Theros, that it was supposed to be completed in Theros,
I remember
and we were
that.
supposed to get that, and they at the last minute held it back. And they instead gave us the Scrylands, which, of course, everybody is happy to have gotten instead of Horizon Canopy and a complete cycle of that. Why did they hold it back? It's not going to be in Zendikar. I'm thinking maybe we will see that in Innistrad, because I think, now I like the checklands. I like that we have the full cycle of checklands and everything. Really makes it affordable, of course, for multicolor and sets like Commander and such. But I do think that they want to wow us with the dual lands that will be in Innistrad, and so that's a way to wow us, is with completing the Horizon Canopy cycle, or possibly the Grove of the Burn Willows cycle. One of those is because they were supposed to complete those cycles, and they kept putting it off, and they have said that one of them was going to be in Theros, and it was a last-minute change of mind.
That's true.
I think Innistrad. I think we will see that, and I think that's really important. Yeah.
See, I didn't even consider that. That's great. Yeah. Something completely different. I don't know if you saw this. There was a random post on MTG Salvation in the rumor mill that got buried. Everyone called the guy just a complete idiot and made like really terrible comments to him about, I don't know, jumping off a building or something. It was awful. Yeah. But he said something about the possibility in the future of like a Modern Masters, but bigger, like covering older formats, like going further back.
Okay, right.
And he says he like heard something, and he said he's like he gets like these leaks.
They're not getting rid of the reserve list, and so you can't do Legacy Masters because of the reserve list. Because what are you going to do? Print all the cards that aren't on the reserve list? And
yeah, like what is that going to do?
Well, it's going to lower the prices of those cards, but Legacy is still going to be just as expensive to get into.
Well, because of the dual lands
on the reserve list.
The dual lands are the barrier to entry. So as soon as that was the main comment. Like I was reading through the guy's post, and he was just like, "Oh, this is going to be a thing. They're going to reprint all these Legacy staples." I'm like, "What Legacy staples?" I'm like, "So you print like, let's say you print the entire." Like every card you can from like Shardless Bug or something, you're still missing playsets of Underground Sea and Bayou. Like that's still the barrier of entry to this deck, and I mean, I just like it was just the most ridiculous thing. It's like he deserved it.
Yeah, people need to stop whining about getting reprints for Legacy. That's not going to happen. You'll never catch me whining about reprints like that, because we know they take care of us with those. We're not. I mean, can you imagine if we had like 2 entire blocks in a row where there was like total of 6 reprints and they were all common and uncommon trash cards?
That would literally never happen.
No, right. I mean, they take real. Oh, we're gonna get Goblin Guide and Battle for Zendikar, which is good because.
Oh my god! Like I don't even play Burn, and I'm like, thank you.
What's great about having Mono Red financially accessible is that it's not always a difficult deck to pilot. It's perfect for new players. It's perfect for testing out a format. If you want to get into Modern or Legacy, you try out
It's supposed to be good for entry level.
It is, and Goblin Guide made the cost of that go through the roof. I think Goblin Guide's at like $15 right now, which is why it needs to
it spiked a little bit to like 22.
Jeez.
I know.
but that's just those MTG finance.
Right, it's the finance people.
They know. They know that there's going to be the reprint. They know there's going to be the reprint, and they're trying to sell it off right now at as high a price as possible before everybody is
before it completely crashes.
Yeah, right. Because as soon as it's reprinted, it's a $3 card for the next 5 years, allowing easy entry into just about every format, including Standard, which would have mono red, which Standard always has a mono red budget build. I mean, can you imagine if you couldn't even advise a new player to just put mono red together and have fun at Friday Night Magic? Like Standard.
Oh my God, that would be
plummet. I mean, can you imagine if Star City Games saw a fall in Standard attendance across the board of like 30 to 40%? I mean, that's not going to happen when you can just tell people that there's budget ways to play Standard and mono red. Yeah,
I can imagine. Like gosh, how difficult would that be? Because whenever I'm asked the question like, oh, I want to get into Modern, where do I start? I still have to say like mono red or burn is still a really good entry level deck, but a playset of Goblin Guides is going to cost you like $75. Like,
yeah, it's
crazy. Ridiculous.
The whole point is you don't say to someone, hey, start out with Merfolk or Jund or whatever, because maybe they're going to buy into that expensive deck, and then that's not going to be to their liking. And so you start out with something like mono red, and you see the decks of your opponents, you borrow them down at the shop, and you get a good feel that way. And so you want to start off affordable. If you're spending $75, you know, I mean, you might as well go for like, I don't know, something like Splinter Twin, which I do advise if people can handle combo. Splinter Twin is pretty affordable. Once they reprint the Scalding Tarns. Once they reprint the Scalding Tarns.
Well, it's also like it's a mainstay deck. Like it's not like Birthing Pod where it gets better. It's not like you know, one of these crazy turn 2 kills. Like Splinter Twin is fair. It's like the poster child for Modern. They reprint those cards like even in the Modern Masters that just came out, they're a Splinter Twin. So
well, that's how you know that just like with something like Eye of Ugin for Red Green Tron, you know that those are the staples of the format.
Yep.
That is what people like about Modern. Modern is the place where, barring rare situations, you can buy a deck that you love and play it forever. You're not going to one day see a Modern without Splinter Twin.
No.
It's just not going to happen. That's what's great about the format. If they were to ever try, I mean, like, I've heard some people say, like, remember how the old extended format essentially rotated but slowly? What if Modern had a rotation through strategic banning of decks that were, you know, dominated to shake things up? That would destroy the format. It would make for a very bad Pro Tour. I know we're all looking forward to I'm
really excited for the Pro Tour.
I'm so excited for Pro Tour 2016. I'm so excited for the Pro Tour after that.
Modern. Like a lot of my friends have been grinding Splinter Twin matchups against they made a gauntlet specifically to tune Splinter Twin sideboard.
Right.
They've spent like 5 months testing for this, and like they're like 3 of them are going to the Pro Tour, and like they're ready to go. Like they've been testing forever. I don't know. I feel good.
That's really cool. I know it's very expensive for players to do that when you're not. I mean, if you're a pro, they take really good care of you.
Well, no, they won like PPTQs
status and stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, but it's still very expensive. I mean, think about it. To go to the Pro Tour, you got to have plane tickets, hotel accommodation. I know that a lot of times you get with some friends and split the cost, but it really adds up. I mean, you are spending usually. $1,000 out of your pocket.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if the top pros had to do that? Like,
well, that would be crazy.
That's insanity. Like, could you imagine?
The pros don't do it to pay out of pocket. The pros are doing it to compete for prizes, and because it's so expensive to do it, that's why once you reach a certain status, we take care of our pros.
Well, yeah. It has to, like that. If there were
a big ad for the game, I mean, it's essentially.
Oh yeah, like if there was like a concrete. Yeah. If there was one rule that never changed, it would be like Wizards has the pros back. Like, because if they don't, then it would be like a sports team not paying the players. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Guess what's going to happen? If you didn't play the players of a sports team, they're not going to just show up and play, let alone imagine if you said, by the way, you have to pay to fly yourself out here and pay for your accommodation. And there's no pay, there's no prize money. Wizards is obviously, I think we're going to see Wizards increase the benefits to pro players because we know that they want to make Magic the Gathering a more attractive game, both as an esport, as a streamed event to watch on Twitch.
Yeah, I keep hearing this word
Larger
esport.
prizes.
Are they sticking to that?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard it a few times, but they haven't really, done anything yet. Or
I think that we're going to see a huge overhaul starting probably around, I would say, maybe early summer, late spring of 2016.
Really?
Where we've got a lot
soon.
of GPs coming up, and I think that by the time we get to GP Minneapolis, that you're going to see really great coverage. I mean,
Okay.
It's not like they're not going to have like 2 GPs in a weekend and not cover it. They're going to do spectacular coverage. 2 GPs in a single weekend. They're going to plaster some of the best coverage you've ever seen on Twitch, and I think it's going to coincide with a huge increase of not only benefits for pros, because you want your pros to be well rested, well taken care of so that they perform well, and then you want to incentivize them and everyone else with giant prizes at the top. Now, this means that a pro is not risking like, well, if I don't make top 8, I'm out a lot of money. That's why you got to take care of them. But also that there's a big prize that everyone, your friends that you just discussed, have a fair chance of getting, as well as the pro players. I think we're going to see some spectacular stuff. And I can't wait to see all of the coverage that we're going to get very, very soon. Just GP after GP, weekend after weekend.
No, I love that. I love that Wizards is supporting it like this. I especially love that when they have like a third-party company like Star City Games or Channel Fireball covering something. Yeah. I love that they just give them coverage. Like, I love that they don't have to like pay out of pocket. I love that they just like coordinate that together.
Why would you have someone like Star City Games, who provides some of the best coverage ever, have to pay out of their pocket to advertise for you? Imagine if you or I, with the content we create, had to pay Wizards for permission to make YouTube videos, which are essentially ads, even if they are critical for their game. And so Star City Games, which is probably single-handedly creating the best coverage content out there, which is the biggest ad. I mean, if Wizards were like, well, you got to give us money to do that, you can't just do it as much as you want. Wizards, I imagine, is going to start giving them money to cover more. We want to see more coverage.
There's got to be a budgeting there.
Star City Games is, I'm sure Wizards wants to do everything in their power, including financial support, to help Star City Games do more coverage, more GPs, more of the time. And they are not going... Wizards would never want to hurt Star City Games. They would never want to do anything that puts egg on the face of Star City Games. That would be a disaster for Wizards of the Coast. That's, again, like throwing an egg.
Well, again, what it would do is it would force Star City Games to save face, right? And it would it would put all the weight on their shoulders, even though it wasn't their fault. That's just that would never happen, though. Like,
no.
Also, I don't know if you heard this, but it might not matter as much to you because you're on the West Coast. Yeah. But they announced the first 2 seasons of GP schedules for 2016. Yeah. There's a GP New York City. Oh, the coverage for that is going to be insanity.
They're going to go nuts.
Like, they're going to bring all the pros in, and it's Channel Fireball. Like, they're making the trek. They're going to bring, like,
watch that. I can't
cosplayers, I'm assuming, like, content creators. I mean, cosplaying is becoming a thing now.
Spectacle. I love that watching a GP, which used to be, let's be honest, and I don't mean anything by this, but when you used to watch, remember when the GPs were on ESPN3 and stuff?
Yeah, actually,
they had the Magic tournaments. They were very minimalist. It was players playing a game. It's an intellectual competition, and there was not a lot of razzle-dazzle. But now you mentioned cosplayers, families going to GPs. We're doing GP New York. It's going to be
it's like a mini convention, right? Like, there's got to be so much stuff.
I'm predicting panels with prominent members of the community. Definitely tapping into the fact that you have people that create content, be it podcasts or YouTube channels or just writing articles on websites, or even just prominent members of the community who are positive presences on the message boards and on Reddit and things like that. People know them. They love them. They get people excited about Magic. GPs get people excited about Magic. You do coverage for GPs. We're going to see Wizards say, hey, it's like a dime out of our pocket to fly some of these people out and have them get everyone energized about Magic so they go out and buy it and play it and love it and enjoy it. I mean, it's not like they're just going to cut coverage almost altogether.
That doesn't even make sense. Why would you do that?
Right. Can you imagine?
Well, no, if anything, I expect, because I've seen this before with other games, I expect 2 streams. One that's showing, like, the main feed, right? That shows the tournament going on. And then a second one that does, like, deck techs or interviews, or maybe they live stream panels. Because I think with the way, at least with the way Magic's looking now, like they have great presences at conventions,
right?
Like PAXs and stuff. They're all over the place. I
Always
can't
at
wait
PAX.
for
They're
PAX's 2016. Oh my god, because I'm going. But oh my god,
I can't make it to that one, and I'm so bummed because I know that Wizards is going to have such a.
You should go to South then.
South, maybe? Do
yeah,
they have a big presence at South? Well, of course they have a big presence.
They were there.
Of course they have a big presence.
It's PAX. Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to skip PAX.
Especially if you're pushing like the whole esport thing.
Yeah. Well, you have to.
Apparently.
I think we're going to see other things in terms of like stages being built for commentators that don't just look like you're in a high school gym.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
You know, like really fancy stage and spectator, you know, like seating and make it like a big production. And you know what's funny is that if you get professionals involved in that, the cost of that is so minimal compared to the rewards that you reap in terms of what that does for the game. Because remember, it's not just entertaining existing players, although absolutely keeping your existing players enfranchised is how you have longevity. You don't want people to just pick up Magic for a few months, play it until Standard rotates, and then say, I can't keep up, I'm done. That would be a disaster.
That's awful.
Why you have formats like Modern on the Pro Tour, so that people are like, yeah, and every year I can play these same decks again and again.
Yeah, the same. That's specifically important. Like I like that. Like obviously, like the community rabbled. Like we rioted for the Modern Pro Tour,
right.
And then so the Modern Pro Tour comes back, and I think after the last banning of like birthing pot, we have to be done, right? Like we have to be done. There can't be anything more than that because we're talking about a format that's supposed to be stable. Right, and if you're going to
introduce, would be a banning would be if something accidentally was printed in Standard that took over Modern to such a degree that it was like, again, every top 8 list is going to be this one variation on the same deck.
That cannot happen though.
Well, they do an emergency ban. They'd have to.
But that hasn't happened in like.
And they always listen to their player base because they're a dynamic, responsive company, and so I'm not worried about that.
They obviously would, yeah.
It happened, and it wouldn't because they test for Modern.
Well, and also like we're talking about a situation where if that happened, that's like a global Magic problem, right? Like you see, like let's say the first Modern event after the Pro Tour, because the Pro Tour is an isolated incident. Let's say the first Modern event after the Pro Tour, if this same ridiculously impossible strategy dominates, which again, like if it can beat Splinter Twin consistently, okay. But if it,
that's why you have Splinter Twin because
that's what I'm saying. Splinter Twin's the gatekeeper,
right? It's the gatekeeper,
like because you have to worry about it.
Why? Like I hear people say, "Oh, there's a Splinter Twin in top 8 again." It's like, yeah, there is. It's a consistent, reliable deck. It doesn't dominate, but it keeps some of these wacky decks in check. But anyway, go on.
Right, yeah, okay. So let's say you go to like
around. Go on.
Oh yeah, no, Splinter Twin's great. Yeah, so you go to the first Modern event after the Pro Tour. Like if that looks like the Pro Tour, right? Like let's say just magically the Pro Tour is like 7 of a stupid deck and then 1 Splinter Twin, and then which again, if Splinter Twin's around, that doesn't make any sense. And then you go to the Modern event and it's like 8 of the broken deck, or like even like 5 or 6, crazy. So I would start watching it there, right? And then you go to the second Modern event, and it's like 6 through 8. At that point, you have to start looking past like, oh, the pros did something great in this isolated incident,
right?
And you have to be like, okay, well now something's clearly broken. We should probably do something about it. And the break between ban lists, you have the ban list right before the Modern PT, so right after Oath of the Gatewatch releases, which we don't know anything about it, but that's a sweet name. Yeah, it's like middle of January. Then the next ban isn't until like April, so they're obviously like you need to emergency like if it's that bad.
But that's
I think
what
that's a given
bans
though.
Are for.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's.
I know some people would say like, but they only did this emergency ban like once before. They don't want to set a precedent. I heard someone say don't want to set a precedent. I think it was some one of these trolls in the comments. They just like to say stuff like that. Well, you can't do an emergency ban in a situation like that to set a precedent. What is the precedent you're setting? That you respond dynamically to a crisis and are in control of your own company and environment? I mean, that's a good precedent to set.
I agree. I think
again,
we all.
This would never happen. This would never happen.
No, there's no like I can't say okay. Like I can't.
Impossible, but if it did happen, they would respond dynamically.
I can't stress enough how ridiculous it sounds for a deck to beat Splinter Twin and Infect.
Yeah.
And like all these other, it just like that's why Twin exists. Twin exists to stop stupid decks like that. Like that's why it's around. I just can't see a situation where that would happen.
No. All right.
Like it. No.
All right. So I think we covered everything that happened between our last episode of this podcast and now. And so finally, I can check my news updates and just see.
All right. Oh, yeah. Let me wait. Let me look at some info.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, no.
They banned Splinter Twin? Who bans? Why?
There's no more modern GPs or no more modern Pro Tour.
Why would you ban Splinter Twin? Are you serious?
They didn't ban Eldrazi when it was literally in the top 8 for just about every deck ever. And
Scalding Tarn is $85.
Is that real?
They didn't print it in Commander or Battle for Zendikar.
No, but like seriously, is it really $85?
Yes.
Holy crap, that's insane. It's $85. You need a playset of it for any deck in those colors.
Wait, just a second. Let me see what they printed in Battle for Zendikar. If they didn't print... Okay, well, for the record... Oh, wait, well, I guess we were both wrong because it's not in Commander 20... Then what they print in Commander 20... Okay, let me look at the lands for Battle for Zendikar. Cinderglade, land, Mountain Forest. So it has the basic land types. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands.
That's really not very good for any format that would want that. I mean, I guess
understand.
In standard with like a lot of fetch land cracking.
So this is what they printed instead of. Okay, what is this other thing I'm reading? Okay, Splinter Twin wasn't the only card that was banned. Whoa, wait a minute.
Banned?
Wait a minute. There's this card I've like never even heard of. Just a second.
What?
Summer Bloom. 2 mana sorcery. You may play up to 3 additional lands this turn. What deck is that in?
I don't know if I've gone up against it.
Let me look at Summer Bloom. Modern Amulet Bloom combo. What is this?
I don't know.
Let me look. Amulet of Vigor. 1 mana whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped and under your control, untap it. Okay. Summer Bloom lets you play lands. So what's the combo? Oh, I get it. Okay, they're using the Ravnica bounce lands.
Right.
And they're playing Amulet, playing the bounce lands, untapping them in. Oh my god. Wow. Well, I mean, this doesn't seem very reliable.
No. I imagine though, once in a blue moon, you might get off some kind of turn 2 win, but it's not reliable or consistent in any way.
This doesn't seem reliable.
No.
Apparently, you win by some janky combo of like Primeval Titan and Sunhome Fortress of the Legion. Seriously?
Wow. Well, you got to keep some of that stuff in there to keep combo players that want to play for fun happy because, some people are playing for fun and for, like, they get that big thrill, I pulled it off, but that's not anything that's an actual threat. All right, let's talk serious stuff now. I don't want to do another hour of this.
Dude, oh my god.
That was great improv, man.
Dude, as soon as you...
We did not have any plan to do that. That went great.
Okay, I did really well for me.
Stuff.
Wait, the second you mentioned coverage of GP Minneapolis,
Yeah.
I was so close. In my head, I was like,
In case you're not aware, people in chat or watching this, there was not 1 but 2 GPs this last weekend and no coverage on either of them. There was no coverage on GP New York.
I hope people watch the charity stream.
Yeah.
But no, as a precedent, I don't like GP's not having coverage. I don't think anyone does.
No. So let's talk for real here.
Okay.
In the last, let's just say year.
Okay.
Out of everything we were just making fun of, like, what is the most critical thing that happened? Like, what do you think was just the most critical?
Pay the pros.
Happened. Pay the pros.
Yep.
And why would you say that's the most critical?
It's not even for the, like, obviously we'll talk about the situation in general.
Yeah.
It's we go back to the word precedent, but it's the precedent that it sets that Wizards at any moment can just
Right.
we're taking this away. Like, something that was guaranteed, reliable income for the top players, for your all-stars, gone. Like, that's, and a lot of Wizards employees didn't agree with it too. We saw it was on Twitter a lot. Like,
well, that's also a
it was
really bad sign when you've got with the company doing something that people in the company don't agree with. And that's kind of like, that's the, like, if I were to eat or drink things heavily and I didn't think I should be doing it, you would say that I have a problem. If I'm like, if you're like, oh, professor, you're really hitting, you know, those boxes of donuts, you know, like, easy there. And I'm like, I know, I just can't. I think it's really bad that I eat these every morning, but then I go out and I buy 3 dozen donuts and scarf them down. I don't want to. And you'd be like, well, if you don't want to, why are you doing it? I have to. That is the definition of a problem. It's not even that you're eating the donuts, but that you're saying, like, well, wait, why are you doing something you don't want to do? And that is showing, like, that makes me feel like, well, if the people in the company that we trust know not to do this but can't control it, then who's at the wheel? What's going on? I think those are the 3 words that came to my mind, and we talked about this, of course, privately, but erosion of trust.
Yes.
And that's why it's bad. It's not even bad. All the stuff we could list about what was bad for the actual pro players is all legit, but the way in which it hurts the game is that you have eroded the trust.
It was a foundational betrayal. Like, everything that their relationship is built on was completely destroyed. And when they released a statement like apologizing for it, and like, we know we have to like earn your trust back, I don't, if I were a pro, I don't know if that would ever happen.
What do they have? Okay, here, you know, and I don't want to like just cover, because everybody in the world,
we're not going to keep on this.
I got one question. We're going to move on to the next thing, but here's actually something I didn't hear people talk about. I listen to all the podcasts, and I don't read all the articles, but I do spend a lot of time in the car driving, and I listen to most of the podcasts, and I don't remember anybody, if you covered it, you know, I might have missed it or forgotten it, but I don't think it was heavily talked about. What do they do to earn the trust back? What can they reasonably do?
I assumed that
restore consumer trust.
I assumed that, well, if it was Pay the Pro specifically, I assumed it wasn't talked about because it's not possible.
Yeah.
That's just where I lay.
Wow.
Like, that's where I stand on that. Well, like,
That's a grim outlook.
What if YouTube just stopped paying us just out of nowhere? We would.
Feels like it actually. It's more like, what if Patreon stopped paying?
Okay,
us?
like,
I don't
what if
money
just
off of YouTube? I make my money off of Patreon.
Well, what if
Patreon
like, okay, so your main source of income,
right? Patreon.
They just cut you out completely. Like, what? Even if they reverse it,
you wouldn't see videos from me. If they did that today, you wouldn't see videos from me tomorrow, because I'd have to go get my job back. Because that is
no, but that, like, the point I'm making is it doesn't. Like, when you're foundationally,
I wouldn't feel safe doing this for a living. I would be
exactly
like, I can't keep doing this.
That's
need to
the
go
point.
Over to Hearthstone,
so like,
which we see many pros doing.
So like, I don't mean to make it sound like a grim outlook, but I feel like that's realistic for human nature. Like, if someone punches you in the face and then just says they're not going to punch you in the face anymore, why would you believe them?
Hang out with them, right?
Like, you're not going to like hug them. You know, that's just, and like, I wish I didn't have to be that grim about it, and I know that Wizards is going to relook at their situation, because they said by Eldritch Moon they're going to try to promote something or propose a different. They're going to propose something else.
They're going to try to make a proposal.
Well, okay, I'm not being hopeful. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's like, I'll wait. Maybe they had maybe there was a moment of clarity. Maybe they saw that what happens when the entire community gets behind something. You're clearly wrong. Like, everyone. There was... I can't think of...
If it was a mistake of this level, who got fired over it? Who made it? Who gave the order? Nobody seems to know. It's like idea. Ghost orders. Whose idea was it? Why do they still have their job? Or anything. It's like, it's just this, like, was it the collective subconscious of the company that just put it on them? Someone individually said, this is what we're going to do, and then that someone is still giving instructions and orders on such a level that the names and faces that we know of the company and like and trust can't override it and have to carry it out.
It honestly has
alarming to me.
It is. No, it's scary as hell. Like, I can't, All right, and I feel like I should stress this. I've met the community team. I know them. All the ones
They're
who are
awesome
supposed to.
people.
They're great. There is no way this has anything to do
That's
with
why
them.
I'm alarmed.
All the people you speak to, chat like Everett Wizards.
Yeah.
It's all the community team, and they're all freaking amazing. They love this game.
No.
This came from somebody incredibly disconnected to a
Right.
point that they're just fundamentally harmful to the future of Magic. Like,
Right. And they're
just-
still out there somewhere in the shadows.
I don't
That's
know.
the thing. I see some people in the chat, and understandably so, because there's the human connection. People are saying like what they did to the pros, but it's more what alarms me is more. It almost has nothing to do with the pros. It has to do with the way in which
It's a sign of something bigger.
It's
like
a
a
sign
bigger
of
issue.
something bigger. It's the sign of next time it'll be worse and it'll do more damage and it might not be as easily reversed.
It goes back to the precedent. Like what happened is dangerous because of what could happen in the future, based on this. Like this was this was a crazy, terrible decision that just happened in a moment. It was on a slide at a Pro Tour. Like it just out of nowhere.
What a terrible way to introduce it.
And worse, like, and this is why I know the community team was like, you do not make an announcement like that when your entire PR department is halfway across halfway across the world.
Right.
No one could do anything because no one's even in the U.S. The whole.
You were seeing tweets from the PR department, people in there tweeting out, "I'm on a plane. When I get back to the office on Monday morning, we can talk about this issue."
It's just insanity. Like
insanity incarnate.
It's absolute craziness. But yeah, like I obviously it's been talked to death, but you're right. My big issue is the precedent it sets. Not that the issue itself is not important, because it is, but it's the precedent that really kills me. Migraine of Kozilek, thank you for subbing, by the way. I don't have my notification on right now, but you're awesome. Thank you. Welcome to the Source Force with special guest.
Are we getting
Tolarian.
our donations coming in from St. Jude right now during all this stuff that we've been doing? By the way,
it's not on this part of the overlay. No, I have the notifications, but I don't think anything's happened yet. Like I don't
nobody's
think
no. We got to step up the commentary here. We're not getting. They're waiting for the auction. They're waiting for the auction.
Yeah,
We'll do the auction in a second. But I want to switch it then to the next topic, which is what is the best thing that we saw in the last 11 months.
The best thing.
Yeah, and I don't mean like the thing you personally. I want to talk about this in terms of not the thing that has you, Wedge, the most personally excited. I'm talking about like kind of, for the game, for the company, for the community, for like everyone, like what was the smartest move or announcement or thing that we saw, besides of course rescinding Pay the Pros, but like what is something new or what did they do that was great? What was it? I'm curious.
For me, it's
and I agree with you that Pay the Pros was the biggest mistake, so I have nothing to offer on that topic. But what's your idea on this?
Best
thing that they did.
I'm gonna say what it is, but it's also it's something big. It's representative of something bigger.
Okay.
Plane Chase Anthology being announced is my absolute favorite thing.
Yeah.
Because not only is Plane Chase friggin' awesome, and everyone who's played it like loves it, but it shows there's all this talk about how Wizards is completely disconnected from the player base and they have no idea what's going on at all ever. Plane Chase Anthology would have no reason being printed in the history of existence if players weren't clamoring for it.
Right.
So they're clearly they're making a huge deal out of it. Like, to make something as big as they're making, like it matters, right? Like, this is important. And there's clearly someone either in design or development or marketing who is like, hey, we should do this, like, right now. Like, someone who comes to work at Wizards for one day isn't going to know that Plane Chase even exists. Like, it's going to take somebody, like, ingrained in Magic to get this. And whoever that is, they have pull. And that's awesome. And I think that represents that there is hope that that the community is being listened to. Because there's no way Plane Chase Anthologies was from marketing being like, we think this might be a good idea. No, this is also grassroots.
It's also a smart way to support things that are kind of like my issue, which is that, if you wanted to play Plane Chase today, okay, so like, hold up the Plane Chase thing I donated, and someone in chat right now, like, look it up on eBay at lowest possible buy it now price with shipping. Like, what is that cost? I think they're like 50, 60, 70
Plane
bucks
Chase
sort of thing.
Chaos Reigns.
Yeah, someone look up what the price of that is for me. It's not cheap. They were printed a long time ago. They were the only time we've seen this stuff printed. And in all honesty, if you want to play Plane Chase, you really need to get them all. So there's 5 of them. And you kind of need it all. And they're reprinting the whole thing. When you buy the Plane Chase Anthology, you will get every plane card that there is.
Yep.
The decks I could do without, other than the cards that were only printed in Plane Chase or limited printing in Plane Chase. But to get all of that right now would cost you hundreds of $500s of dollars.
Easily.
If you were like, I don't have Plane Chase and I want to get Plane Chase because it's awesome and I want to play it, I'm a Commander player and that works really well with Commander, or even I want to play it with my whatever Plane Chase decks, that's fine. But to have to be like, all right, and it's going to cost me over, okay, it's $50. Someone says $125. Someone says $80. Great job, chat. 50 to 60. All right. 149. We're
okay,
seeing
no,
variation.
there are two different answers. One person's answering MSRP for anthologies, and the other one.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, and there you go. Okay, so this is like $60 each. There's 5 of them. That's a lot of money.
And they're not that easy to like. It's annoying to get them.
Yeah.
It's just incredibly bothersome.
Right.
And the Plane Chase Anthology is coming with the promo ones.
That's so cool, because those you can't find anywhere.
No, those are freaking.
Because they made some promo ones. So for $150, you get everything you need, and you can play this game. And Magic needs more of that. I can go into my local game store and for $50 buy Dominion for $40, and I can go home and play it for a year without needing to buy anything. And Magic doesn't have that. And stuff like Dual Decks comes close. Event decks and Clash packs do not come close. Intro packs sure as heck don't come close.
Dual
I'm
decks
glad
are great.
those things are gone. But it doesn't have that. And people said when they did the dual deck anthologies that they felt it was like a board game of Magic. They would sit down, open the lid.
I've used mine a bunch of times with friends who came back who don't have decks. They'd be like, "Oh, here, play a deck." It's perfect for a group activity, and everyone looks at the MSRP on Plane Chase and gets really intimidated. But if you have like 3 or 4 friends, like split it. That's what it's for.
No,
it's for
and
multiplayer group games.
It's such a good thing.
It's going to be well worth it.
To buy something and play it. And that is what Magic does not understand. That I need to play. I need to play. I don't need to get like, well, here you go. You can pretend to play with these completely crappy cards in a deck for $30. No! Give me something good. And Plane Chase is great. If you want it, you can now get it with the anthology, or you can when it comes out.
It's coming out, by the way. There are questions. It's coming out mid-November or late November.
Cool.
But yeah, the reason I brought it up is because, again, I feel like it's of symbolic importance. I think it means that there are people listening at Wizards because Plane Chase, like...
I don't think, and this has been said a lot, people at Wizards are listening. People at Wizards do care about the game. Yep. The problem is they just can't seem to get things done correctly. A lot of the time. It's this kind of like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
Well, that's a whole other conversation. I mean, we could talk about that if you want.
It's like, there you go. It's the same body that did Pay the Pros is also the same body that did the, anthology. And they were completely working independent of each other, and that's part of the problem, I think. And so we'll see. But
I just really like that this is being printed because it shows that
Me too.
There's clearly there's care there, which means a lot. What about you? What do you think is the best thing?
I don't know. I feel like all hard to say. I think I'm even more pessimistic than usual. I would say Eternal Master. It does sound like me. Eternal Masters seems like a great set, except it's not going to be available.
That's the So
Eternal Masters
in a vacuum, great set.
It looked better than great. Looks brilliant. Looks like enjoyable draft by like A+ draft environment already. I don't know till I actually draft it. You'll tell me you're bigger on that stuff, but it looks good. The reprints looks like they really hit it out of the park. Yeah, there's some crappy rares and mythics like there always is, but it looks like we got almost everything that we could have wanted that isn't on the reserve list. They seemed to have a good spirit with the new art. Everything seems right on point, except it's not available for purchase.
So So
like,
I've
I can't buy it. So, ladies and gentlemen, hi. I'm the professor of Tolarian Community College. My best friend owns a game store. I can't get a box of Eternal Masters as of now, unless I'd like to pay.
Can I do this too?
Yeah, I went down to my friend, and I said long ago, "Oh, hey man, can you get me on the list for a box of Eternal Masters?" And he said, "I can't do that. He said, we only are getting 6 boxes or 8 boxes, whatever it is, and I'm just gonna draft at MSRP for that." Because it's not fair to sell it off. I can't do that. I'm not getting any more. That's like nothing too, and that's like a couple drafts for the store, and such. And I went around to other game stores. I can't get this. There's some sellers on eBay if I wanted to pay $300+, but I can't get this at MSRP. And if I can't get it, how's anyone? I mean, like, come on. I mean, that just sounds crazy.
We got a donation for St. Jude for $5 from Notice Me Senpais.
Yeah.
I notice you.
I notice you.
It just says Notice Me Senpai.
I notice you.
Thank you for the donation. I do want to say,
yeah.
For the record, boxes are down to $270 now, and they're still going to drop because a few reasons. One,
you have confidence. You have confidence that we are going to see availability in this, and that it is a perception thing right now. And once it hits, it is going to be available. Right?
Okay, yeah. So here's all right. Here's the situation.
Lay it on me, Wedge. I hope you're right. I hope you're right so bad.
What I'm saying is not me. It's the 3 store owners that I talk to every time a set releases. And this is the info I got from them. I've seen invoices. Here's the situation. Mm-hmm. Distributor prices on boxes are now $225.
Yeah.
So a lot of the big finance people I talk to who are not scummy, actual good people, think it's going to settle around $240, $250 for a box for a while. Here's why. The way distribution normally works for Wizards is the biggest stores get the most stuff, right? And if you're small, you get nothing.
Right.
Some stores, especially with Modern Masters, they get nothing.
Right.
Like, have you ever been to a random hobby shop that doesn't run Magic tournaments but sells random packs?
Eternal Masters, or at least they used to not.
Yeah, like they wouldn't get Modern Masters. It just doesn't happen. What's happening now, Wizards is distributing boxes themselves in addition to distributors, but here's how they're doing it. Every single store is getting 8 boxes, 2 cases, because there are 4 Eternal Masters boxes per case.
Mm-hmm.
8 boxes to every single store from Wizards. Just like that's flat. Like, so these stores that would normally get nothing are getting 8 boxes guaranteed. So when you go on eBay and you see all these stores popping up selling these boxes, these are stores that don't even hold Magic tournaments. These are stores that have just bought random whatever new Magic stuff is out for the last like 3 to 5 years, maybe, probably more. They're getting Eternal Masters too. So you see big stores getting less than they would normally get because Wizards is more evenly distributing the boxes. So that's why I think it doesn't look like you're getting as many in stores. But if you want them, they're online. They'll be online for a while. And I think it's important to note that you really shouldn't have to worry about people backing out of pre-orders, because the people who are offering these pre-orders are the ones who don't want the boxes anyway. Like, they're the ones who are just getting it for a cash grab. So what I would do is at $270, it's actually not a bad price, but you could probably wait a little bit for it to go down, because especially since once the set comes out, even though it'll still be highly sought after, even though it won't be opened as much as a normal set, when a card is opened, that's one more to the supply and the demand goes down.
I hope very much
temporarily.
Yeah. So if I came to you, Wedge, and I said, "Hey, Wedge, I very much want to get a box of Modern Masters of Eternal Masters. What is your advice to me? What do I do? Should I pre-order a box at $270 now? Should I only pre-order if it's MSRP is $240, right?
Yes.
$240 would be MSRP, or give or take. Should I only pre-order at $240? Should I wait till it releases? What's your best advice to me if I want to get a box and I have about that much money?
Well, it looks like all the 270s that were on TCG Player got bought up, so we're back at like 305.
That's yeah.
Let me go check on eBay. What I would say is, if you have, bless you.
Oh my.
Chat, can I get a bless you in the chat, please? Can I get a bless you? Okay, so looking online, let I'm seeing boxes shipping for free at $290.
Yeah.
So eBay's got $290. What I would say is, if you're worried about availability of the product, then I would buy one if you want it. Like, even at worst, this set won't do what Modern Masters 2 did, which is drop down to 20.
Yeah.
Or 200. It's not going to happen.
That was nice.
That was nice. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Because the set has so much... Like, this set might as well be called Judge Promos Masters. Like, it's got
or
a lot of
Masters.
Stuff. Oh, man, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's... If you want it and you can get it now at, like, $290, it might be worth the security to buy it than wait for it to drop a couple, like even $30, $40.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in America, if you're in Europe, you're fine, because Magic card market is crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're in the United States and you can afford $290, you should probably get it. Like, it's worth it just to have it, so you know you have it. That's what I would tell you, probably. Yeah. I am not getting any. I could do my... Hi, my name is Wedge, and I'm the host of the YouTube channel The Manosaurus, and I know 3 store owners, 2 of whom owe me favors, and I didn't get any Eternal Masters.
That's a bad sign, people. That's a very bad sign.
It's not good.
You know what the conversation normally is, would be you and I and people like us saying, well, I mean, we knew how to get a hold of it and where to look and had some hookups, but I feel bad for the average player. That's what it normally would be. It would be like, well, I could kind of, I was able to, get a hold of it. I'm not able to get a hold of it. Wedge isn't able to get a hold of it.
Like, we're not joking. This is not some played up thing. We can't get Eternal Masters.
People are asking me, are you going to do the booster box game for Eternal Masters? And I'm like, I can't get box 1.
Oh God, what would happen? You get box 1, get crazy value, right. And then the second one's just not there.
And it's just like, whoa, I got enough for box 2, except there is no box 2 for sale, for under $300 or more. And it's just like,
the booster box game seems...
Why can't they print more of this? Why can't they? Even if what you're saying is correct, why can't they just print more of this? Why can't they print it akin to Conspiracy?
Oh,
What's
that was
the problem? I don't
Conspiracy
get
so
the
good.
problem.
It's the issue. You know what would solve not solve it, but lessen the issue. Allow generous reorders one time. Allow reorders one singular time.
Tell me the problem of them printing it in the same number as Conspiracy.
I don't see the problem.
Okay.
I am of the opinion that Conspiracy.
Do you understand? Do you understand what they think the problem is if they print it like Conspiracy?
I think it's a combination of needing to create... Okay, so from what I've heard from store owners who defend high prices for things...
It's the collectors.
Well, 1, it's that, but 2, if there's a limited print run, boxes will cost more, and that will make LGSs more money. And a lot of stores... Like, there are a lot of stores that are going to... These 8 boxes that these stores are getting... They're going to be able to pay rent for, like, a few months with the money they make out of that. Like, not saying that that's defensible at all, but that's the situation. So maybe, again, I don't know. I don't work for Wizards. But maybe it's a combination of, like, scratching the LGS's back while making sure the economy doesn't tank. Because while they can't acknowledge the secondary market, they acknowledge the secondary market because they made Heritage Druid a rare.
You know the people who took a 16-cent card when they announced Kaladesh was coming out and there's going to be a kind of steampunky machine vibe to it.
Oh,
and
you're talking...
They took
Steam Flogger Boss.
Steam Flogger Boss, which was like 16 cents, and now it's like $5 each.
Dude, the foils are... Oh, wait, I want to see if they dropped yet. I don't think they did.
Right.
They were insanity.
These people went... and they bought it all up, and now you, if you want it, have to pay far more than it's like, and it's like stock market manipulation because there's no regulation, and those are the people who Wizards is like, well, if we print too much of it, those people can't rip off the average player and screw the average player, and we don't want to anger the people who cheat the average player. No, we need to make sure that there's so little of this that people with money and means can buy it up and control it. And that's exactly what's going to happen. People with money and means are going to buy it up and control it. You couldn't do that with conspiracy. There was too much of it. You can't do that with a regular block set, Battle for Zendikar. There's too much of it.
Yeah.
Print the bloody set. Shut up and take my money.
I'm definitely on your side there. I've said this ever since Conspiracy 1 came out.
Yeah.
The way the distribution worked for Conspiracy 1 was freaking genius. Like,
yeah.
The first
Conspiracy 1 was A+.
I consider Conspiracy 1 to be the best set printed since Innistrad.
This
says straight away.
Ages 13 and up on a pack. For Eternal Masters and Modern Masters, it should say income brackets, 80,000 a year and up on it or something like that, because that's what it's coming down to.
It's
sorry
kind
to get
of
all
insanity.
Bernie Sanders on you, but
Whoa. Okay. Did you know that during yesterday and Friday or Saturday stream,
yeah.
I had Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and Donald Trump all donate me money.
That was hilarious.
like first Donald Trump donated like $5. Then Hillary Clinton donated like $1 above Donald Trump, and then Bernie Sanders was
and
yesterday.
Now, if you forgive me, I'm gonna take it right up to a 10. We're all doomed.
That was fantastic. That was spot on. That was spot on. Although, to be fair, Bernie donating the most is against my immersion, but okay.
So, yeah, Donald Trump is the one buying up Steam Flogger Boss and cards like that. Bernie Sanders is the guy complaining about it.
Can I do Hillary Clinton?
Please do Hillary Clinton. Who's
okay.
Hillary?
Hillary Clinton is the one who sneaks into Wizards trash can, finds their shredded announcements for what the set is called for the next expansion, puts it all together, and then buys Steam Flogger Boss before Kaladesh is announced.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. What is that noise?
I don't know. It's your house.
You didn't hear it. It's the St. Jude thing, but it happens randomly for no reason.
Are you sure it's not like a brain tumor?
Really? Really?
I don't know. You're hearing noises. Also, I'm really not sure that's Hillary Clinton. Shredded. Okay, we should probably get off this topic. This is probably a good idea getting off this topic. Anything else before we move to the auction that you want to discuss?
Do we have like 40 minutes till the auction?
We do?
Yeah, it's at 3 your time.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't we get a game of Magic after this? Let's wrap this up. Dice removal up. Final topic.
Okay. We need.
What do you want to?
We need a final topic. All right, I got this. Okay. What do you think about the frequency that Wizards is releasing product?
Too much. It's too damn high.
I mean, there had to be a reason why they did it, right? Like,
yeah, they want money. They want to stick a vacuum cleaner in your pocket and suck until all they get is lint. They release a set and they make a lot of money off of it, and they go, "Why don't we do this more often?" They go, "Wait a minute." They go, "Wait a minute." They go, "Wait a minute." Why are we waiting 3 months? Let's just do it in 2 months.
Let's do it now.
Wait a minute. So once people have their decks, they stop buying the packs of cards. Let's make it so they don't get their decks for as long.
Oh,
what are you
God,
letting them
that's
keep their
hilarious.
Decks for? Wizards would love it if all you did was draft. Draft is a brilliant thing for Wizards. You go in, you give them $15 to get $12 worth of packs, and then you play for 2 hours, and then you throw your cards away and come back next week and have to buy them again. Brilliant! It's disposable game in that sense. They wish there was no standard. They wish there was no anything but the draft. Anyway, yeah, it's too much. I can't keep up.
It's a
out
lot.
of control.
It is. I remember we were speaking about it, and I remember the issue was when they first announced, like, oh, we're gonna release this and release this and release this and release this. They announced that they were doing Eternal Masters, and that they were doing Conspiracy, and that's all we need. I remember that's all we knew at the time, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, can they really do that? Now they've added that they're still doing the From the Vault. They're still doing, or they're doing Plane Chase anthologies now.
Right.
Like, the Commander product is still in.
Conspiracy and Eternal Masters.
Conspiracy and Eternal Masters and Eldritch Moon somehow. Like, it's...
And Kaladesh and Aether Revolt. And, I mean, why are we talking about Aether Revolt?
I don't understand. They just shouldn't have announced that set name. Like, why? That's a piece of news you could hold.
But I'm curious what the set after Aether Revolt is. We're obviously going to return to a plane. Is it Dominaria? And where are we going after that? What do you think the theme... I want a T-shirt that just says "It's never Dominaria."
It's never Dominaria,
or
dude.
Actually, it's never Kamigawa.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, I want to go back to Kamigawa.
Well, so I was playing during original Mirrodin block, like when.
Oh, here we go.
And when Kamigawa just came out.
Right. Go on.
As a kid, I didn't relate to it. It looked ridiculous. Why are there two faces on a card? This is stupid. Like, going from Onslaught and Mirrodin, it was a complete culture shock with absolutely no context whatsoever. No one cared. Everyone left. This is like, well, we just don't care anymore.
Did you just describe the Japanese-themed Magic set as a culture shock?
Yes, that's exactly what I did. Yeah. Okay. At first I thought you were like tricky. I'm like, no, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. All right. Go on with the spiel.
Kids didn't understand it. I was a kid and I didn't get it.
What does that have to do with 2016?
I'm just saying I still don't care about Kamigawa.
Wedge. The set after Kaladesh is called Nightmares of Kamigawa or something. Okay. Nightmares of Kamigawa.
Okay.
Are you going to be deterred to buy and play that set? And even a little bit as if it were anything else. Honestly. No, you are not. No one is. Who cares?
As long as it's not as badly designed as the first one. Dude, it was so... Come on. Have you seen those cards? They're terrible. I could make a worst cards ever video just with Kamigawa block for like 3 years.
Why don't you then?
Because I would rather jump off a building.
I think that there's far too much precedent set in things like, well, this set was not popular at the time and has a bit of a reputation as a result in current day. If you took original Innistrad block and you reskinned it as Homelands 2 Electric Boogaloo, it would still be the most popular set of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
And Homelands, which is considered the worst set of all time, would also simultaneously be thought of as the best set of all time. It has to do with the text on the cards in terms of how well it is received. If you are worried about Kamigawa not being good, make a good freaking set.
I agree.
People want to go back. It's a great idea. The lore and the flavor is great. Even
I was just messing around. Like, I just like trashing on Kamigawa. No, if they do it again...
I take it back. I was just joking, you guys.
We've had this conversation before. If they make the set good, then fine, but I remember it being terrible.
But that's not 2016.
I know it's not.
Moves linear. You're not
I'm not going to complain if they announce a Kamigawa set. I'm going to be like, this better be good. Like, that's my reaction.
You're going to be like, hype. This is the best thing ever. Hold on.
I'm really
butts.
not.
I can't control myself.
You really don't understand how much I dislike Kamigawa.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, it looks awesome.
Only if they release something good and not make all their legendaries uncommons with no abilities.
Yeah, all right.
Have you seen
the amount of Kamigawa? What is the problem? I don't know.
We still have to go back to Olgrotha and Dominaria. Why are you defending Kamigawa?
We do need to go back to Olgrotha. Is it Olgrotha or Olgrotha? I've always said Olgrotha.
I actually don't know. I'm not
you
sure.
do videos on how to pronounce cards. Get to
Well,
work.
maybe I'll ask how to pronounce
Well,
it
maybe
then.
I nominate Ulgratha as the first word of your next pronunciation video.
Maybe I'll put it on the list right now.
Well, maybe I'll watch it when you release it. How do you like that?
This took our tones, I don't feel like match the conversation.
Well, maybe
I'm gonna go put
lunch.
this.
Well, maybe I'll buy you lunch. Well, maybe I'll buy you the next lunch.
Do you want something to drink? How is your steak?
How is your steak?
Let me know, damn it!
This has gone off the rails. Okay, I got a Shadows over Innistrad pack here. We're gonna do crack pack to end the episode. All right.
I like it. All
right. I'm taking bets in the chat right now. Bets in the chat.
For what it's gonna be.
Will this be worth $4 or more when I crack it open? Will this be $4?
Do I get a vote?
Yeah. What's your vote?
No.
I'm gonna vote yes.
Oh.
There's some value in Shadows. Okay.
You resealed it.
First card is Chaplain's Blessing.
Good start.
Next card. Shout out when you say first pick. Jace's Scrutiny. Next card. Dauntless Cathar.
One of the best commons for draft.
Really? All right.
It's very good.
One of my favorite artworks, Apothecary Geist. I love the artwork in that.
Oh my god, it's so pretty.
I love that it's like this ghost, but he's wearing an apron and he's helping you. Like it's like you go into the store and he's just like, let me just get you this. Like this is what he's doing in his afterlife. Drownyard Explorers.
That's all right.
I don't like him. This I've had some good luck with. Equestrian Skill.
I'm not a fan, but I get its use.
This is the creepiest damn just weird art. Macabre Waltz.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. Why is she dancing with the thing?
I mean, I think it's funny.
It's funny, but it's like, she doesn't really do that, right? I mean, it doesn't strike me.
It doesn't seem like a Liliana thing to do.
It doesn't seem like Liliana is just like, and now I'm gonna in such a dramatic manner, dance around with a zombie. She probably is like, don't touch me, like, Pyrehound.
It's a decent filler in a spell deck. It's fine.
Might Beyond Reason.
I don't like that card.
Olivia's Bloodsworn.
Amazing. That card's
Amazing.
great.
Yeah, all right.
That card's really good.
Wildfield Scarecrow.
Only if you're in Delirium.
Crawling Sensation.
Which one's that?
That 1 green, 2 colorless enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. When 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, for the first time each turn, put a 1/1 green insect creature token onto the battlefield.
I don't like it. I don't think I've ever used it.
Here's our rare Fortified Village. I think that's worth more than $4.
Oh, dang, you might be right. Let me look.
How much is Fortified Village worth, chat?
I'm looking up right now.
Okay. No foil. I'll show you our double-faced in a second, but I think that's worth more than $4.
Let's find out. Nope.
Aw, damn it. What's it worth?
$2.40 on TCG
No
Player
way!
right now.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Well, we didn't make it to $4 then because our double-faced card is the Accursed Witch.
That is first pickable.
Yeah, first pick.
That's your first pick. That over Olivia's. Oh, that sucks that you're passing in Olivia Bloodsworn though.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go deep and
then
pick
we
the
got
Cathar,
we got a clue token.
I do want to say though, now that you've been surprised by how cheap the Fortified Village is.
Yeah.
Right now, especially with fetch lands rotating out,
yeah.
while Standard is still not incredibly cheap, a lot of the cards in Standard that are good, not that expensive.
Yeah.
Especially with Eternal Masters, there's been so much like devaluing in Standard cards. Like almost all of them are dropping. Avacyn's almost at 30 now for the first time since she exploded. I'm not saying 30 is fair, but
good times roll.
It's still a $20 drop. Like at least she's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I suppose. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for the season finale of Dies to Removal. Just stick around in the chat because we are going to play a game of Magic against each other in the format of your choice, and then we are going to auction off this lot. Wedge, in case anyone is watching you on YouTube, where can they find you?
You mean on the channel that they're currently watching this video on?
And I can be found at Tolarian Community College on YouTube. Or you can follow me on Twitter or like me on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all for joining us for Dies to Removal. And to answer the most important question, when's the next Dies to Removal? Never!
100 year, man.
100 years.
100 years.
This was a one of. I mean, Wedge is in charge of it, by the way. I gave it to Wedge, so bother him. Don't tweet it at me.
God. Throw
I
me
told
under the
him
bus.
I'll do it whenever he says to do it on his channel exclusively. Leave me alone. I'm gonna put my own podcast together.
Leave me alone.
I'll make my own podcast with blackjack and regular updates.
Wow.
All right. Thank you for joining.